Welcome back to the video, or the channel, you guys. Today we're going to be making a gray wreath. Just a simple gray using this 21-inch mesh. The ribbon I have picked up right now is this teal burlappy ribbon, but I'm not sure, because I just wanted to make a wreath because I was bored. So we are going to start with this gray. We're going to be doing the poof, the big poofs. Where we do 10 on the inside and 12 on the outside. And we're going to get that done, and then we'll go through and see what ribbons we like. I have a couple different ribbons. We're going to be using these Tinsley pipe cleaners until we run out. I have 10 of them. So, and then once we run out, we'll use just plain white. But since it's like a kind of a lighter color wreath, I don't want to use a different color. We're going to cut them all in half. I don't want to use a different color pipe cleaner because I don't want it to show through. If it was a dark, like purple or something, wouldn't matter, or a dark, like a dark brown or a dark red or a blue. Why am I cutting it? Oh, I almost cut that one at 5, but that was not 6, so we got to go over here. Cut these ones at 6. So I'm trying to just go for a natural look. So we're gonna do the poof method. So we'll get our thing ready. I start with the first row, going on these crossbars, tucking it down, pulling tight, turning, and there we go. I also go down to these the middle, or like the second or the third crossbar, and I just go around the crossbar sideways. We'll do that to these ones. These glittery ones kind of make a mess, but these are the only gray pipe cleaners I have. So we'll have to make do with what we got, right? Make sure I'm in frame. Sometimes I tend not to be in frame, and it does not really help you. I didn't move this guy out of the way, so we'll have to do that in a second. But I'm gonna get this guy ready, and then I'm gonna do 1 or 2 poofs for you guys, and then I'll come back when it's done, so this video is not long. I'm trying not to make a very long video, so this guy is getting in the way. We'll move him out of the way. Move that guy out of the way so I can bring you guys more into camera. There we go. So I'm just going around. This is a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath form. Basically, these are the only wreath forms I use because it doesn't really matter on the size. It just matters on how much, the more mesh you put in, the more poofier and bigger it's going to get. So you don't need to have a big wreath form to have a big wreath. My wreaths are pretty big using this 14-inch wreath form. And why go out and spend $5-6 on a wreath form when you can get them at the dollar store? That's what I think. You might think differently. You might think it's a lot easier to already have a work form done for you. And if you want to, go ahead and do that. I rather save money on my wreath form and add that kind of money into my wreath. No one sees a wreath form anyways, and sometimes you gotta just suck it up and deal with the boring part of putting the wreath form together, but it doesn't take that long. It's not an hour-long process. Glitter is kind of annoying. So now what I'm going to do after I got the whole outside done is I'm going to come in here with the, in the middle of these two, and I'm going to just do these middle. I go through the 2, that way it doesn't move, but that's how I do it. So yeah, going back to my story, why spend $5 or $6 or $8 sometimes on a wreath form when you can go to the dollar store and make your own for about $2? I'd rather spend that extra $6, $5 some dollars on more extra, like a little bit more ribbon, or a little more high quality sign, or more addition into your wreath, or not even add that, but then your wreath is cheaper for your customers, and that'll make your customers more happy. So sometimes Dollar Tree wreath forms really come in handy. You don't have to go out and spend $6, but some people they rather just spend the extra $5 and they'll have it done for them. But good for them. They want to do that. Whatever makes their heart happy makes their heart happy. My heart's more happy when I save less money on my form that no one sees. If it was like a grapevine wreath or something where you're going to be able to see it, then I would go out and spend a little bit more money on it and make sure it's a nice grapevine. But this isn't a grapevine. You're not going to see this wreath form whatsoever unless you turn it inside out. So now that I'm out of the tinsel-y ones, I'm just going to go in with some white. You're not going to really see them, so it don't really matter to me. But yeah, I'm going to go in with some white. Perfecto. And to be honest with you, I might actually go like this and add the white to these bars, because these bars, I don't, these other ones, if you know what these middle ones is where I add the ribbon usually, and the other, like the actual main crossbar, I don't add ribbon to those ones. So I'd rather just have the white here because you're not going to see it at all. That way in the middle of the ribbons, they'll all be the same. Kind of forgot about that until I got done. But it's an easy fix, and it kind of tells you guys what to do. You guys could do full pipe cleaners if you want. It makes it a little bit more easier because you don't have to have so much. You have a little bit more room when you add ribbon into yours, but since I didn't have a lot of the tinsel-y ones, and I tend to not like using a lot of the twisty ties. If I could just cut the quantity in half, I still have enough at the end. I kind of just untwist them, that way I have a little bit more room, and twist them from the mesh, and then I twist it back up once the ribbon is in there. But you can do full pipe cleaners if you want, or you can do full pipe cleaners on the ones that you know you're going to add ribbon, and you can do half on the other ones. I'm just doing half on the whole wreath. Okay, why isn't he going in there? So I'll get this guy in. Like I said, I am using a 21 roll of 21-inch mesh. I don't really know where it came from, but it's kind of funky. It's kind of messed up on the ends. The ends are like starting to roll out. It looks like a cone. But yes, so now my thing is fully put together. Like I showed you. Yeah, it's coming out like a cone. So I'm gonna untwist it. There we go. And we're gonna, guys, my wreath that I made in the last video, well, actually not the last two videos were tip videos, not wreath tutorials, but the last wreath that I made, if you are watching my channel from like my first upload till my latest one, was a Patriotic wreath, and that guy already sold, and he's already in his home, and the lady who bought it loves it. She said she's gonna have to order or buy some Christmas and fall wreath for her house. She just moved in to a new house, so she needed decorations. She saw my Facebook post and she said, I love that wreath, and I brought it and she loved it. And in case some of you guys were wondering how much I priced that one out, I priced that one at $55. And I'm going to be coming up with a video pretty soon, hopefully in the next couple of days. I just got to do a little bit more planning for the video, but I'm going to be doing a video where I talk to you about how I price my wreaths and how I add in my work and all of the things that I consider when I am selling a wreath. So I'm going to start from the inside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab two zip ties. One for the end or the beginning and one for the end. So I never really talked about materials or the tools and stuff you're going to need for this wreath, but what you're going to need is a wreath form, pipe cleaners, or if you're using a work form, that's also fine. You're going to need a wire cutters, maybe a scissors, two zip ties, which are optional. I use the zip ties because I like to add the zip ties to the wreath in the beginning, because then at the end of this loop, when I finish this whole thing, the final loop is going to have to go back in here. And I don't think there's not enough. You're not going to need, and I just like to make sure that it's nice and secure and it ain't coming out of the zip tie. You can use the pipe cleaner if you want. You could do a full pipe cleaner, and that way you'll have enough. But I just tend to use zip ties because now I know it ain't going anywhere, because I've had it where the end comes out and then the whole wreath starts to come apart. So then I just use a wire cutters to cut this off. You're also going to need some scissors. I don't have my hot glue plugged in right now, but I will once I figure out, or my skillet plugged in at all. Until I know that I'm going to need to use it, I'm going to be using a ruler, or I'm using my cutting mat. You can use a ruler or a mat or any type of measuring to measure out 10, or you can guess. I like to make sure it's perfect because I'm not very good at guessing. So I go through and I measure out 10-inch poofs here in the beginning. And then in the first row. And then when I get to the second row, I measure out 12-inch poofs. So 10 in the middle, or the first row of pipe cleaners, and then in the second row of pipe cleaners, I use 12. So I'm going to do one more for you guys. I just measure it out, bring it up, pinch it where I have my hand, put it into the pipe cleaner, and twisty it, find the end, pull it tight so it's not going anywhere, and twist it a couple times. Don't worry about fluffing it right now. You'll fluff it at the end, but I'll come back when I get to the second row and show you how to do those. Okay, I have the front row done, and what I did was I twisted in the last one of the first row, so that's why I put the zip tie on the first row, so I had room to put this other one, and then I just brought it over and I zip tied it over here. That way when I bring it to the end, I have these left for the ending, but usually I usually just put a zip tie at the end too, just to make sure I know it's secure, but you don't have to cut it when you finish front row. You just bring it to the next thing over, and you just start again. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over here, and this time you're going to measure all the way till 12. And you guys, when I was finishing the front row, I was thinking to myself what I could do with this, and I think I might have came up with a good idea. I think I might turn this into Patriotic. I really think that this silvery gray would look really cool with a Patriotic, like a bow. I could do a Patriotic bow. And then, because not everything has to be red, white, and blue for Patriotic. You can have silver in there too. I think this would look really cool with like a Patriotic bow and on the one side, and then have it hanging down, and then do like what is it? Do those I have those rockets, you know? Where are they? Right here. I have these guys. These guys will look cool on the other end. I think that would look so cool. I think I might do that. Or have these guys coming out of the bow. That would even look cool too. I think that's what we're gonna do. So I think we're gonna bail on the turquoise ribbon, and I think we're gonna commit to the. See guys, when you guys start a wreath, like me, I had no idea what I was going to do this. I just brought that ribbon out because I thought it looked cool. It would look good with this, but after I was thinking about it, I was like, oh my gosh, I think a Patriotic wreath with this would look so cool. So I'm going to finish the rest of these doing 12-inch poofs. I don't even know if I was just in camera, you guys. It probably was over here. Sorry about that. But 12-inch poofs on the outside, 10 on the inside, and then I'll be back. Okay, guys. I got the whole outside and inside done. So now what I do is I start to fluff. Your next, especially that when you're working with 21-inch mesh, you need to fluff because you got a lot of mesh that's sitting underneath these poofs that are waiting to come out. As you guys can see, these poofs are getting a lot bigger just by me pulling on them and pulling all the mesh out. You want all your mesh to be able to be seen. You don't want any of it hidden underneath these guys. That's the whole reason you use 21-inch mesh, is so you have a lot more poofiness. Even if you're using like a 10-inch mesh, you're gonna wanna probably do a little bit more of you're gonna wanna do more poofs, or you make your poofs bigger than like 10 to 12 inches, because you're not going to have all the dimension in the length coming out of your wreath because it's 10 and not 21. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling it all out. It helps bring it, it's going to make it real full. So right now I'm just doing the inside. You should work from the inside out, because then sometimes I do the wreath from the inside. If I'm not paying attention, I start from the outside, but you really should start from the inside, just because then it helps you kind of. And when you're doing this, you kind of want to locate, since I'm going to be making a bow for this wreath, you kind of want to locate where you want where it looks a little bit more dull and like it doesn't look like there's enough mesh. That way you can put your bow on that side and have it kind of, what am I thinking? Kind of cover it up. Sorry, you guys, I'm losing my words. It's been a long day. A long day. It's only 9:30, but it's been a long day. So, I was supposed to participate in a sale today, in a couple of weeks in May. Right now it's April. And it got canceled the other day because of this coronavirus, but the county that I'm going to be doing it in, the head person is going to be talking to the governor of my state and trying to get it, open his county up, and if that happens, then the sale will go on. So I'm hoping that all works out tomorrow when he talks, because I really want to be able to sell my wreaths. So that's why I'm like, well, maybe I'll make a couple more 4th of July or Patriotic. I sold one already, so it's not like they're not selling. And that way, if the sale goes on, that's like the next upcoming holiday is 4th of July. So they're gonna think about maybe getting a Patriotic wreath to hang up for that. That, or I'm gonna do a couple more summer if I know for sure that's gonna be happening now. I was kind of unsure, so that's why I made a couple, because I'm like, well, I don't want to not make them. I can still sell them online and stuff. I don't sell on Etsy yet, but I'm going to hope to do that soon. But I just sell on Facebook, and people that I know, they're looking for a wreath. They know I make wreaths, so they contact me, and I hook them up with a wreath. They can do custom orders. I have an order customized for hunting, but Craft Outlet is not sending me my supplies, and I'm getting kind of angry because it said it was supposed to be here last week Thursday, and it's already Sunday, so it's late, 4 days, and I don't think it even shipped yet, because on their website it says you'll get an email when your box is shipped, and I haven't gotten no email. So I'm assuming that it has not shipped yet. I emailed them, and I got some lady reached out to me and said that it's not their fault that it hasn't got in there yet, but I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know if it's shipped or not? If you're not shipping out, you shouldn't be accepting orders. And on their website it says, as soon as we get back in to the warehouse, that we will start shipping orders right away. So if your order says pending, your order is pending. Well, I got a confirmation that says my order is going to be here on Thursday. Well, I was assuming that if my order was pending yet, that I wouldn't have got a thing saying it's been here on Thursday, because if they're not shipping them out. But I don't know. I have no idea. That's why I love the wreath shop, because the wreath shop is still sending out orders. I'm going to go on there and pick out, because I want to make a wreath for my mom, for Mother's Day for my mom. I want to make a wreath with our monogram in it for our last name, but, so yes, this wreath is pretty, kind of see-through-y, but it's what you expect when you're using gray. It's pretty big-ish. I like the way it looks. We gotta kind of go through it a little bit more and do a little bit more fluffing. And I just don't want to be able to see the wreath form or the wreath frame. But we can always add in a little bit more. We can add in some ribbons or something. I'm going to be doing a nice bow. I'm not very good at making bows, but I've been watching videos on how to make these cool, and they're like really cool. It's not like a regular bow. You have a lot of ends and tails, what I'm doing is I'm just kind of interweaving them together, kind of cover up the mesh a little bit more, or not the mesh, you guys, the form, the wreath form. I don't want my wreath form showing. Okay, what is going on here? I think this area right here is being very, very uncooperative for me. So I think this is going to be where I put my bow. That way, I'm going to have my bow on the side of my wreath. Oh, I almost bumped the camera. So I'm going to go off. I'm going to go pick out my ribbons since I did not have them picked out already, since I didn't know what I was doing with this wreath. But I think this side right over here, yeah, is going to be where my bow goes. It's going to go on the side and it's going to droop down. So I'm going to go pick out my ribbons and I'll come back and I'll show you how I make my bow. So I picked out my ribbons. I got 1.5. So I got this one. You guys have probably seen these in a lot of my videos. I got this star one. And then I got those were 1.5. These are 2.5. So I got this just plain red one because we don't want to have too much different designs. And then I also got this blue with the stars. But I'm gonna quick grab off. I have a silver. I have a silver that I think would also look kind of cool. I don't know. I got that one. I also have white, but I don't think I'm needing white. We'll see. I'm going to be doing a bow that I've never done before, guys, so this could be a failure. Hopefully not. We're going to grab that pipe cleaner quick. We'll do a red. Fit the theme of red. So you're going to need a pipe cleaner, and then you're going to need your ribbons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with this. I kind of want a long tail, so we're going to measure out about 12-inch tail. 12-inch tail. So I got that. So we got about a 12-inch tail. We're going to drop our ribbon down. We're going to come over here and we're going to start with a pinch, and we'll do another type of small. This is my sucky scissors. I should have known that when I was doing that. Now where was I cutting? Right there. Oh my gosh. What the heck, scissors? Don't embarrass me out here with my crappy scissors. Okay, so I have a loop. This is my longer tail. This is my short tail. So then I'm going to come in with like this wreath, or this one. We'll do a little bit of same, do like a longer tail with that type of tail with maybe about that coming out of it. I'm just pinching it, and then we'll come out with a okay, I'm kind of not very good at making these guys. A little bit longer, a bigger tail, about the same length. Okay, so right now I have that. We got these two guys. We'll fluff at the end, you guys, so don't worry about fluffing right now. We'll come in with another 2.5. Get this guy out of the way. Maybe we'll get the whole wreath out of the way. That way I have more room to show you guys. That sounds like a plan. Okay, so we'll just drop our ribbons, or our ribbon down. Maybe do like about the same length. Fold it. Come over here. Do about that big of a bow. Cut our ribbon a little shorter. Maybe we gotta pull that down a little bit more. Okay, I'm doing this left-handed. So we might have to switch fingers. We're gonna have to switch fingers, you guys, because I cannot cut ribbon that way. So guys, like I said, I am not good at making bows, so that's one of the things I hate doing. That's why when I make a lot of my wreaths, you won't see a bow. You won't see a bow in my wreaths because I dread doing bows on wreaths because I just am so bad at it. But hopefully I like, and this way is a little bit easier. I'm starting to like the way I'm doing it. Oh, I have tape on here. That's amazing. Okay. Bring out a little bit long, a little bit shorter of a, okay. I would be really fine if I had a scissors that decided to work and not stick. It's like sticking, you guys. Maybe I do need to invest in a nice scissors, especially for cutting my ribbons. Okay, come on. What is going on here? We gotta find my nice sharp scissors that will go and cut through anything. Yep, like that. I love the scissors, and I broke it, so I hot glued it. Doesn't look that great though, but it's fine. Okay, guys. I'm not sure if I'm liking the way this is looking, but it's fine. We'll go in with more red. We'll figure this out, you guys. We'll figure it out. I'm not worried. Start with a little bit of a shorter ribbon. Start with a tail about that big. Bring that in around here. And then do about okay. Make another thing. Or maybe we'll go here, wait. Okay, let go of that. We'll start like this. We'll do a, how big do we want that to be? There we go. And we'll do another shorter tail. Maybe we need to make this a little shorter, guys. Bear with me. Like I said, I don't make bows that often. Maybe I should just master my bow making before I come on here and show you guys. But some of you guys might not know how to make a bow either, so we can learn this together. We're all in this together. Sometimes I come on here, you guys, and you might think that I know everything and I'm good at everything, and that's not true. I learn as I go. I'm still learning. I'm not a master at anything yet. Still learning how to make a bow. A lot of different things. Okay, so we're going to come in with our white. Take your time, you guys. You don't have to rush through this at all. No one's in a rush. You take your own pace. I don't want to sit here and make you guys... We're not using that scissors because that scissors sucks, so we can just get that guy out of the way. Well, maybe... Oh, you guys, I cannot cut with that hand. I keep on having to switch. And then at the end, we'll go through and we'll ribbon tail. Or we'll dovetail, not ribbon tail. Oh my god, you guys, it's been a long day. We'll come in here with our blue. We'll do like a bow coming down, maybe this way. Underneath this light right now, we know better than to leave it together. Okay, I'll stop singing. You guys are probably like, nah, please be quiet. I don't need to listen to your singing. Sorry. Oh, that time he wanted to work. That time he said, I'll work for you, Max. I'll work for you. Okay, we'll come in with this guy. Maybe do a bow or another guy coming down this way, maybe with a ribbon tail coming this way. Okay, you're gonna let me cut you? Probably not. He's gonna be like, no, We're not going to let you cut me. And of course, you're not going to let my other scissors. Oh, wait, you let me do it this time? What a nice scissors. So I think I'm going to come in with maybe a little bit more. A couple more. Don't worry about all these tails coming down here. We'll fix them. We'll have them coming all over the place, you guys. Right now, I'm just trying to make my bow. And you guys, I'm just going off of what I've watched in previous YouTube videos that I've watched. I learned from YouTube, so if you guys learn from me, make sure to let me know what you learned, because I wish I could let the people know that I've watched, that they've inspired me, and they've taught me how to do it, because they have really, and I hope to help you guys too, because I'm learning too. I learned I have not been taught by anyone besides YouTube. Like 2 years ago, I had no idea how to even make a wreath. I think the first wreath I ever made was from a Dollar Tree instruction guide that came in my mesh that I bought one time when I was there. I was there trying to find something, and I came across their Halloween, they're different. They have like each they have different kits, and you can buy the stuff. And I think that's my first wreath that I ever made, was from one of those kits. And then I got into it, and then I started making fall ones after that, and then I went into Christmas, I think, doing the same way. Actually, no, I think Christmas, I think I just did like one wreath. I think they actually had a candy cane. I remember they had a candy cane wreath film, and I think I made one wreath that year. I think it might have sold. I don't know. Maybe not. We're not sure. We're not sure about everything, you guys. Sometimes, I don't know what happened. Oh, this is I was like, what happened to my other? You don't have to have a tight grip on the ribbons, you guys. Not that, don't, pinch it so hard that your hand falls off, you guys. Just enough that you know this is not going to end well. Oh, wait. I spoke too soon. Oh, wait. Come on. Come on. I don't know how these YouTubers that I watch never have that problem. They just cut their ribbon like it's some, easy, and I'm, over here not be able to cut without my scissor, or my thing. Okay, so I think I got that guy going down a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this tail, maybe a little longer. Okay, come on. Please work. It's the last one. Maybe we have to go to the other scissors, the bigger one. Okay, come on. You know what? Sometimes we don't have the patience to do that. We're going to go like this with my rotary cutter and cut it right off with the rotary cutter. The rotary cutter saved the day. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in here with where all our ribbon tails are. And I'm going to get this pipe cleaner on there before any of my stuff comes off, because trust me, I hate when that happens. And I want to just twist it. You can use floral wire. I use a pipe cleaner because the pipe cleaner is a lot thicker than me, and it's going to help me hold it in a lot better. Okay. So now you can fluff your bow just like you fluff, because right now, this ain't beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and kind of fluff it the way I think it looks good. Sometimes you have to just fluff it and fluff it and fluff it. And right now I'm just getting them where I think they'll look the greatest, the best. The greatest, the best, everything. And then then I'll go through and I will bring our ribbon tails that I have on each end through, and then you guys will be able to see what it looks like at the end. Okay, what the heck? I'm gonna switch these two out of the way. I feel like I have a lot of this white showing. A lot of this white star. There's a lot showing. So you guys, I think it looks pretty good for right now. It's not even fluffed yet, and I don't even have my tails coming in. But just with the ribbons coming out like so, I'm loving the way this is looking already. So then what you're going to do is you're going to come in with your ribbon tails, kind of add your ribbon tails. These shorter ones, like we did a bow and then we cut it so the ribbon tails were showing, you know. I don't know if you guys know. I think I say that a lot, you know. I don't know, guys. You guys are probably on the thing watching it. You're like, I don't know. Do I know? And if that's you, comment down below if sometimes when I'm speaking, I think like, well, obviously everyone thinks that when you're speaking that everyone's understanding what you're saying, but sometimes people aren't. So make sure, if I ever am talking and you guys are like, I have no idea what he is talking about right now, let me know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off this camera and I'm going to show you, or I'll come back when I have the whole thing kind of fluffed, and then I'll show you how it looks, and then I'll add into the wreath. Okay guys, I got my bow on. I started fluffing, and then I decided I did not like the way that my glitter everywhere. I did not like the way that my tails were. Decided they were too short, so I took the tails that I had already. I kind of cut them down a little bit, a little bit more. I cut them down a little bit so that way they weren't as long, but I kind of left them a little longer because I decided I needed a couple little longer, shorter tails in the wreath already. So what I'm going through now is I'm cutting new tails. I'm cutting them 16 because I want to curl them up a little bit and give them that look. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting each ribbon down here, as you guys can see, at 16 inches. I already went through and I dovetailed all the tails because it kind of is a boring process, and you guys know how to dovetail. So that's what I did. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quick dovetail all the ends of the ribbon right now. Okay, these scissors really suck, and that one kind of sucked too. It actually needs to get cut off right here. Guys, I think this is going to be a perfect wreath. I love the way that this whole silver edition, I think there's a reason why I picked the silver, and then a reason why when I started doing it, that idea came into mind, because I don't think that other ribbon that I had would have been so good. So, last one is this red. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the rockets almost like coming out of the wreath, or out of the bow. Because I kind of want to leave this part just plain. I don't want to mess with it too much because I think that it's good enough already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of adjust the way I want my ribbons to lay. I'm going to go like this, pinch them down a little bit, take this one, pinch it down a little bit, go in with my other blue because I want this blue to kind of be over here by the red so there's not too much blue on that side, and then bring my white over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some floral wire, 16 gauge, I think, or no, 26 gauge. 16 gauge is the wire hanger that I make. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go down a little bit and bring this guy in. Take my hand and go twist it real tight. I don't want it to come off. And then I'm going to add this down underneath the wreath. So if you decide that once you got your wreath going and you don't like the way it looks, the tail, if it's too long, you can always go through and just, the easy part is just cutting it down. But if it's too short, go on in with some more wire and make it longer, guys. Don't be scared to fix it once you already got it done. If you didn't like the way it looked, well then you're not gonna wanna add it down in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bring it over here, the floral wire. You can use a pipe cleaner for this too. And then bring it under where you want it. I'm trying not to tip it over all the way because I don't want to flatten what I already have done with my bow. I'm going to have to go through a little bit more because I don't think it's the way I want it yet. It's not perfect. You got to kind of mess with your bow. I think I sat here off camera for about 15 to 20 minutes adjusting that guy. And it still isn't 100% of my liking. So don't be afraid to just sit and putz. Sometimes you have to just putz with it until you figure out until you decide that that's how you want it, and that's how you get it to your liking. So now I'm gonna just go under here with my wire and kind of wrap it around the thing a little bit. I just don't want it to come apart. Okay. And when I attached my bow, I attached it to the pipe cleaner right to the wreath form, and then I bent the pipe cleaner down again like I normally do. That way the wire from the pipe cleaner does not scratch anyone's door or wall. For whoever buys this, I'm kind of tipping this over. I don't want it scratching. And I'll do the same with this wire. I'll actually cut the wire shorter so it's not so long, and then I'll tuck it down or tuck it in. I cannot find the end. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take my thing. I found that it was easier to mess with my bow once I got it attached to the wreath. When I had it in my hands, I just did not like, it was kind of more harder. See, I like the long tail. Those tails are a lot better. That way I can go through and I can curl them, and I can do a lot more with them that way. So I'm going to go through and kind of poof this, not poof. And you guys, these rolls of 10-yard ribbon have lasted me almost 3 wreaths now. I think this is actually my 3rd wreath, maybe? 3rd or 4th. And I still have some more on them. So these 10-yard rolls, you can also buy the 50-yard rolls. Those ones will last you forever. You might be able to get a couple seasons out of those guys. I buy the 10-yard because I don't think I need that. I don't need 50 yards of ribbon. It's a lot. And I just need to figure out comment down below if you guys have solved in the way of keeping your ribbon rolled together. I put tape on it and it always seems to come undone. And I don't know. Maybe I might have to put like a pin. A pin would actually work. You could pin it down. That's actually, I didn't really see, it already came apart again. So I don't even manage it anymore. I just throw it in the bin and move on with my day because it's not worth getting upset about, because it's going to just keep on doing it. So I think this guy actually needs a little bit of red. The red kind of needs to go over there. A little bit more red over there. Maybe that guy has to come over here. So just play with it, you guys, until you figure out how you want it. Some of these tails can come down, go under that way, or actually this guy's got to come over here. There's no red over there. There we go. That's better. That is much better. I kind of like to have at least one poof of each ribbon design showing in the middle or the front. That way. You're gonna come over here. There we go. You guys, I'm starting to like the way this is looking now. And it's all different layers. You can bring the tails out a little bit, like a tail coming out over here. Bring out some. And I'm gonna go in with my, I still need to go in with my, what are they called? My little rocket picks, and then that will help finish it all off. Okay, so once you kind of get, I don't want to sit here and adjust it on camera for 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of, to be honest with you, I'm going to roll these up. You guys aren't going to be able to see this right now, but once I start getting it closer. So I just start on the end and I roll up, and then they just roll up. So you don't really, you can dovetail them just because eventually they're going to start to roll down. And you can only do this with wired ribbon, so if this bow will not work if you are using any non-wired ribbon. Wired ribbon is the only ribbon you're going to make with a bow. And if you decide that if you don't use wired ribbon, it's going to be a very flat bow. See, I like the way that looks, and you can kind of pull it out a little bit, and it'll like come out like this way a little bit. It just gives it a little bit more like design, and I really like the way that's going to dangle down. You guys will see it more when I get it on the wall. But I'm going to come in here with my pick. I never really knew what I was going to do this pick with, what I was going to use this pick for. But I have decided, I'm going to keep this thing because I need to add that into the price later. So we'll just leave that over here. So I got this pick at the wreath shop, like I get almost all my picks. I'm going to go and I'm going to cut all the way down to the end. Just like that. And I'm going to probably go like this. Pull them out a little bit more. That way, when I go on in with when I stick it down in here, well, I might not be able to add the stars. I might have to add the stars going up a lot more. Might have to we'll just stick this down in there. We might not even need the stars, to be honest with you guys. I don't know. We might have to cut the stars off. The stars kind of make it cool though. Like it's coming. But when I stick it down in there, you ain't gonna be able to see the stars. We're gonna cut the stars off. We will be able to add the stars. Maybe we'll add the stars in at the end. Just coming out of the maybe have them come out of the bow in other spots. Oh my god, these guys they are like shooting stars. I don't know, some of those guys went beyond infinity. But you guys, what I forgot to do was plug in my skillet. So that is kind of my mistake. So now we don't have any glue plugged in. And I can't find the outlet. Ugh. Okay, the outlet wouldn't go in. So we're gonna kind of place these in here while my hot glue gets hot. I like that way that looks. look at the next guy. And like I said, I'm gonna have to pull these stars off. I hate that I'm gonna have to do that, but it's kind of the only way to get these guys. Ooh, that guy's not wanting to come off. There we go. I think I was cutting a lot harder of a wire. Yeah, that's a really thick wire. Okay. Because this guy is actually 2 wires together, so what I'm gonna have to do is go down in here and pull all this paper off. I might have to pull a bunch of this paper off because this paper, when I was working with the star, there we go. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna pull off the paper, because when I was working with the star pick, all the paper, when I would put the wreath in, or when I did the thing, oh my god, you guys, watch this. See the star? They're like shooting stars. They are shooting stars. I'm gonna have to trim them when I'm doing them downwards. Otherwise, I'm gonna be finding shooting star guys. They're gonna be all over my craft table when I clean. So yes, I think I might be able to add these guys, these stars, into the wreath. I'm done, maybe. I don't know if that'll be able to work. Maybe not. But we can. I'm not gonna throw them away because I'll be able to use them for something one day or another. They're kind of felty, so they're not made they're really not made the most quality. But these guys might have to come out. This guy might come out right out. Now I'm just gonna poke it down in there. Okay, come on, go in there. Okay, come on. Okay, oh, there we go. I think this is gonna look amazing, you guys. I think it's gonna look super cool. We're gonna kind of bring this guy over a little bit more. That way I can do one. I'm gonna do one on the each end, or like this end, that end, and then one on this end, because I don't want to get one. I don't want to put one over by the tails. The tails are gonna kind of stay where as the focal point of that part, and then these rockets are gonna come out this way. So I think that's gonna look so cool. That does look cool. That looks amazing. And then the tails are gonna be down here in their own little wonderland. But what I'm gonna do, I have stars down in here. Okay, so while we're waiting for my hot glue, we'll make the hanger. Where's my wire? Oh, it fell. It fell when I was working on getting the hot glue skillet plugged in. Ooh, that's a really cringy noise. So what I do is about 4.5. I can kind of guesstimate, but that's about 4.5, and I fold it. Fold it in half, just like that. I take my pliers and I fold that in half. Okay, and then I kind of come in here and make it more of circular. And then we're going to come in here. My skill is starting to come, but I won't wait until this thing is done because otherwise it might be a while. So what we're going to do is I'm going to sit here and I'm going to kind of come up with where we want our top or our hanger to be. So because we have this bow on the side, we're going to kind of come over. Okay, I think I found where we want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take my pliers and plyer those things shut. Okay. And then when I get my skillet working, I'll come in with some hot glue. But I'm going to go off for a second, you guys. And then when I get my skillet, once it's hot, I'll add the things in. And I'll put some hot glue on here. And then I'll show you guys the finished product once we got all that done. But I don't want to sit on here because it's going to be a while for my skillet to get warm. And I don't want to sit here because we really have nothing else to do besides wait to add our picks. So yes, I'll come back when the hot glue skillet is done. Okay guys, I got the rocket or fireworks or whatever you want to call them in. I fluffed my bow. I kind of curled the ends of the ribbon more. I attached the hanger and I put some hot glue on it so that way it wouldn't move. And yeah, this is what our wreath looks like. I love just like the big bow, and then this whole area is just like plain, and you see the silver. I kind of tucked it in the mesh so that way you can't see the thing. I just have to, it's kind of uneven because, or like it kind of gets, it's heavy on this side because there's a big ribbon bow here and then there's nothing on there, so you got to kind of even it out. I had to even out a little bit, but yeah, that's a wreath, you guys. More simple, but more, you don't want to have stuff on here. You want your more focal point to be like right there. You could add a little bit of stuff in there, maybe if you wanted to add like a couple stars throughout, but I wouldn't add any ribbon. I wouldn't add anything else. If you want to just do more up here, if I wanted, you could bring star picks out in here and all sorts of stuff, but I'm gonna leave it like that. I love the way that the bow looks and everything. I will fluff it a little bit more, make sure everything's perfect. But then yeah, so that's our wreath tutorial for today. It started off gonna be like a summer type simple wreath, and then it turned into patriotic because I love the color combination of this red, white, and blue bow on like the more simple gray. I think it just looks amazing. So yes, guys, if you like these kind of videos, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. I think I told you how you keep your ribbon spools together. Also, what you're working on, if you're making any videos right now, or not videos, making any wreaths while you're watching this video, and then subscribe if you like my content, and then turn on my post notifications so you guys get notified every time I upload a video or a tutorial of a wreath like this. I'm going to be starting my summer, and then I'm going to start, before you know it, fall will be starting, and Halloween, because I need to get a head start on that. Otherwise, until then, you guys, goodbye.